Welcome to the Weekends with Bernie podcast. I'm Tom Everett Scott, taking you on a father and son journey through a season of fantasy football. Bernie Gallagher is a retired sports reporter and bartender, teaming up with his son, Jason, a composer in Los Angeles. They will attempt to conquer the league I created. They will have to overcome injuries, trash talk, heartbreaking loss, and that's just between the two of them. Join us as we talk fathers and football on Weekends with Bernie.
Your voice, dude, I was back. It tells me I was backstage while I was listening to you talk about who taught you how to bartend. And how big is your dick?
Who's mine?
Yeah, listen to that bass in the voice. You probably, you have back problems carrying that fucking thing from the waist.
Who are you talking to, Tom or Bernie?
Who are you talking to?
Talking to Bernie.
There we go.
No offense, Tom.
Well,
I don't know what you're carrying, but Bernie sounds like he's got a fucking thermos in there.
If they take it out, I can knock over the camera.
Oh, jeez. Now you got him started.
Now we got it.
Well, how are you, boys?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you Thanks for having me. Thanks for making this work. I know it was a pain in the ass, but thank you for making it happen.
You guys would know Ryan from the Honeydew podcast and also RyanSickler.com. You can go to his website, but he also has a comedy album out this year, Lefty's Son.
Special.
How are you doing?
Special.
Yeah,
it's a special.
You're dating yourself. I slip up and say it all the
Did
time.
I say
too.
comedy album?
You said album. Album, too. You
I am
said
dating
album.
myself.
Album, yeah. Richard Pryor had albums.
That's how I consumed comedy back in the day.
Too,
You're right.
Me too. I still say album.
Where can people find your special?
Everything's just on my YouTube, Ryan Sickler. It's all there. Cool. But we did just release the special as an album, so you're not technically wrong. But go watch the special.
Oh,
okay.
See, you're right.
Yeah. All right. It all comes around. What are you up to? Where are you right now? Are you on the East Coast?
No, I'm home. I just got back from Phoenix yesterday. I've been out on the road since June. We started the tour. I go out every other weekend. I just landed last night. I'm relaxing today. This is my day. I went and did physical therapy this morning already. Hit the grocery store. Extra pack today because it's the 2nd of October and everybody just got those checks. So, you got a grocery shop at the end of the month. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to go, bro. That parking lot was a madhouse today.
Okay. You doing physical therapy. I just saw a Los Angeles Times article about your health.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I am okay, thank you. I literally just within the last 2 weeks got cleared. All my clots are now gone, so my lungs are back to normal. Thank God. It took 8 months, but they're good.
Wow.
And now I'm just PT for the thing I went in for without getting into it forever is a back surgery. And then when the clotting happened, they were basically like, fuck your back. We need to save your life. So I laid on the surgery for a month, and now I'm PT to get the back.
Gosh.
Okay, well, we're glad you're okay. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, it got kind of wild. Me too. Thank you.
Okay. And you've been enjoying some Ravens football?
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you, the game, this is so funny you're making me think about this right now. Prior to this season, the last Ravens game I fucking watched was from my back in a hospital room at Cedars-Sinai when Snoop put that ball over the line and that fucking big lineman took it and ran it to the house. And I'm on my back going, no! And the next morning, I clotted and almost died. I swear to God. So I'm enjoying
that was it.
I'm enjoying it, bro. I'm enjoying a 3-1. We should be 4-0, but I'm enjoying a 3-1 season.
They're looking good. They look like they got that Jackson Andrews connection back and humming.
That's going. Look. We already lost J.K. Dobbins. Ronnie Stanley's been out. Tyler Lindenbaum's been out. Marlon Humphrey hasn't even played yet. Marcus Williams' first game tears his pec, and he has. So we have legit Pro Bowlers, a bunch of them that haven't been playing, and we're still 3-1. Odell's only played
Beckham's
1 or 2. Yep. Rashad Bateman's always hurt. He's out again yesterday. So you've got Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Devin Duvernay, and Nelson Aguilar is your receiving team. And now you got Gus Edwards, who averages 5 yards a carry and has forever. And I don't know why they don't pump that dude more.
seriously.
Yeah,
Gus the Bus, right?
He's always there. Yeah,
he's just so good.
Justice
and
Hills,
they don't give him enough.
He's nice, but Melvin Gordon, man, that dude's running like he needs a
was a good
fucking
pickup.
contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we fumble too
He
much.
does.
He fumbles.
He
Lamar
fumbles way
fumbles.
too much.
Our team. I think Lamar has 4 fumbles already. That's
I'm excited.
He's always got it out here. Can he just tuck the ball once? Jeez, Louis.
If you're a Ravens fan,
lightning fast.
You know that Lamar Jackson runs with that ball like Ed Reed used to when he would intercept it. He'd hold the damn thing way out. You're like, tuck it.
Right in the middle.
Tuck it. Tuck. I know it's balance and everything, but he holds it out there.
That's frustrating. They've got a really good little running back on IR, Keaton Mitchell.
Yes, they do. Man, you really know your shit.
He
was the undrafted kid. I'm pretty sure that they liked a lot and kept him around in case. And boom, he might get a shot.
He might.
Tom is in currently 12 different 9 fantasy leagues. So he's spread out there. He knows everything.
I'm not proud of it.
I joke when he watches football on Sunday, everything that happens is both good and bad. It's like, yes, that I actually maybe lose as well. So he can't watch.
Well, I figured it out yesterday. During one of the games, I was hoping for just like one thing not to happen. I'm like, I'm good as long as, this person doesn't run it in. Algier from the Falcons, if he doesn't run it in,
you're good.
I'm good. And then they threw a pick 6, and I was like, oh, I forgot to mention I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
it's hard to root.
We
have a piece of everything.
I went heavy on running backs and receivers out of the gate this year, so I end up. You're gonna love this. My starting quarterback ends up being Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm a Ravens fan, so my starting running back was J.K. Dobbins. Week 1, done.
Oh man,
done. So
boom.
I found this kid. You're gonna know who he is. The kid that ran for 200 last week for Miami, and then was stud.
A-Chain.
That kid. Yeah. He was sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna scoop him up, and I did, and I threw him in yesterday. Boom. That kid might be the real deal.
Yeah. Tom beat our team with Bernie and I have a team together. He beat our team with a chain leading the way.
Chain, that's how you say his name, a chain.
A-Chain. Devon A-Chain.
A-Chain.
I couldn't tell you where he went to college. I should be able to, but I don't really follow college ball. But yeah, he's electric.
He is electric.
They've got all those speedsters on Miami. Mm-hmm. So wait, so you're in a league with friends?
I'm in 2 leagues. No, I purposely. So my daughter's 8 now. She's about to be 9, and she's in 3rd grade, and she's got one of her best friends. Well, her dad and mom I'm cool with, and they're like, we got a neighborhood league, and this one's a pick'em league. So I was like, okay, I used to do a pick'em league. So I get in this pick'em league, and I think I know what I'm doing, and I don't pay attention to anything. And the league I used to be was you pick one team a week that's going to win, and once you use them, they're done for the season. You burn them. So you can't run New England every week. You got to
and you wouldn't want to
anymore. Turn them and burn them, right? So I go in, I pick the Ravens to win week 1, and I go 1 for 1. Problem is, that's not what this league is. The league is pick the winner of every game. I am so far in last place, I can't dig out of the hole now. I can't even dig out. I can't.
You only picked one. You're like, this is it.
I was like, hey, man, I won 1,000 here, y'all. Look at this. And then
I'm out.
They're like, what about the other games? I was like, wait, we're picking every game? They're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm in last place. So the other league, because of people I used to play with, and there's been some aggressive people at poker night and things like that, for instance. I don't play with people I know anymore. So I go on ESPN and I enter myself into a random strangers pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I play against people I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the first. By the way,
you can do that for money now.
You can. Yeah. It's the first time I've ever done this. I've always played with people I know, and I got sick of it, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna play.
How are you doing now? How are you doing?
I told you it was Aaron Rodgers and J.K. Dobbins.
Rodgers and J.K.
Dobbins. That one. Okay.
I won this week because of A-Chain, and I had McCaffrey. That's what I went and did running backs first.
Ooh.
So I'm 1-3. That's what I am now. I just beat the 3-0 guy today. He ain't winning.
Okay, so it sounds like, well, it sounds like you had like a top pick if you had McCaffrey.
That's what I'm saying. I went
Maybe
running backs and receivers. No, I had a top.
Yeah.
I was number 6, and no one picked them up, so I scooped them quick.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
so I don't have
that
any
far.
quarterbacks. I have Dak Prescott, and so I went and got Brock Purdy because I figured that at the
He's
minimum
doing all right.
he could dump it to McCaffrey, and they can help each other. That's my only. That's all
They
I
did.
got. Yeah, that's all I got.
He's been doing all right.
doing
They
all right.
did. He's not gonna. He doesn't have that big of a ceiling. Like he's not gonna win a game for you. But
Right.
you know who looks great is C.J. Stroud from the Texans.
He does.
Yeah, I'm sure he's out there on a lot of waiver
That's a good
wires.
point.
He could be.
Yeah. He's really picking it up. He's
He looks like a real QB.
yeah, increasingly.
What's the kid from the Colts?
So
Oh, he looks great.
Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
He's
That's
he's
who you
putting
have,
up
right,
big
Tom?
numbers.
I do have
He's
him.
putting up big
Right.
numbers.
Yeah.
Man, he's just such a good athlete. In the first, couple games, he got hurt because he just runs like Marshawn, and he got dinged up. But if he holds it together, he's exciting.
So Bernie and I are 2-2. We have a team called Weekends with Bernie in Tom's league, and we're doing all right. We had Saquon as our first pick. We're kind of homers. We're Giants
Yeah,
fans.
that's what I do. Yeah.
We got Dobbins, we got Saquon. They're both down, so we're trying to pick up the pieces here. But
Is Saquon done for the year?
No.
He might be back next week.
Yeah, we're hoping. But we've been talking a lot about Bernie and I were in a fantasy football league as partners in the 90s. He ran a restaurant and ran the fantasy league. It was all analog. He would have to go in to get the box score in the newspaper and do all the numbers for all the teams and post it. So we're back after 30 years. We're teammates again. But I know you had a lot of probably great sports memories growing up in Baltimore. I've heard a lot of your stories already. Listened to the Honeydew and the Crab Feast and everything. But we thought maybe you can get us a good football or sports story centered around your dad or your mom or your kid. Now,
Well, if you listen to the show, there ain't a damn sports story involving my mom. I promise you that.
Why is that?
Because my mom split from the family early on. She wasn't coming to the sporting events. Her sport was keep playing defense from her family.
Keep away.
Yeah.
Keep away with her
Keep
love.
away with her love. I've got a couple.
All
I'll
right,
tell
so
you some fun stories that. But this is a good one. This is the first time I ever heard the word cunt.
Okay,
We
great.
used to
Perfect.
go to. My dad used to take us. So we're from Baltimore. We didn't have NHL. You had to go to DC to see the Caps if you wanted NHL, and or up to Philly to see the Flyers. So we had AHL. It was a team called the Baltimore Skipjacks. And originally they were the farm system for the Penguins, so they were black and gold, but then the Caps picked them up, and then they were the red, white, and blue. And this, you can imagine a white trash Baltimore AHL diehard. Like, they were like, fuck the NHL. This is the league right here. And that's when we would go sit, and I remember hearing this guy go, "You fucking cunt." And I'm like 8. And I'm like, "Dad, what's a cunt?" He's like, and my dad's laughing. He's not being a dick. He's laughing. He's like, "Guys, I got my kids." And they're like, "Oh, sorry." They're like, sorry. And then they're just like, "You fucking piece of shit. This motherfucker, you're a pussy, you cunt." I'm like, "Dad."
Yeah, that's why they're there.
Yeah. So learned a lot of language at those games.
Yeah.
Sure.
One of my favorite
AHL.
I used to work at UPS, shout out to UPS Baltimore Hub Primary 1 Joe Avenue, and I used to work the graveyard shift. And there was a dude in there who had he had served a life sentence, and he was given this position because we were a big hub, and it was downstairs, and it was
Hold on. How do you serve a life sentence and then get out?
it's 20.
Work for you.
20 years. Well,
Okay.
so
all
his
right.
name was Pat. He was an old white dude that was hardcore. He had a prison tattoo on his forearm right here of this big giant rat squeezing its dick, and it said, "Here, kitty, kitty." Okay, that was his prison tattoo.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Old white dude, like seasoned, didn't take shit from anybody. And in this break room, there must have been 20 vending machines. I mean, vending machines that had like cheesesteak subs, and this dude's job was to keep everything full. He was hired by the state to be the employee that worked at UPS to do this shit. And everyone fucking loved him.
Got it.
Everyone loved him because he was just that fucking dude. And he would sit at a table and just make sure all the machines were full. And while he would sit there, he'd do two things. He'd run numbers and he would do all the sports betting. Okay? So instead of going to play the lottery, we played the lottery with Pat. And if you hit the pick 4 or the pick 3 through Pat's guy, they paid you more money and no tax. So it behooves you to go the illegal way. And when I tell you everyone played,
running numbers.
The fucking supervisors were in on it. Everyone gave Pat money. And then Pat would leave around 8 p.m. And you would just go downstairs to go through that break room to get to a restroom. And on the table, he would just have a napkin with the 3 and the 4. And you go down and see if you won. The next day you get paid. So I start playing with him, and I'm 20, couple years old. And he's like, I like you, dude. He's like, you like sports? I'm like, fuck yeah, I like sports. I was like, you got betting? He's like, I got betting. So he start giving me all this shit. I start betting through him. And I'm doing football picks. I'm like, give me these 3 on college. Give me this. And he would run numbers and do all our sports betting all out of that UPS cafeteria. Now, he served a life sentence because he came home. This is his story. Caught his wife and his best friend fucking in their bed. And he shot both of them. I think killed the guy and the wife lived. So he served 20 for that.
God.
He got 8. He did 18 because he owed good behavior.
And so he was out on probation, filling vending machines and running.
He was
numbers.
out completely, but he was he was working for the state as a vendor who filled the machines at UPS, and on the side was running the fuck out of numbers and sports bets.
Ran a numbers game. Yeah.
Did he ever give you any insight into that moment and him killing that guy?
I would sit, all the time. I'd sit down all the time, talk to him about it. Yeah, and he would tell me like back when he did it. What was it? Crime of passion wasn't even a thing. It didn't exist yet. All those things.
Right. So he
got the full 20 and did 18, and then got out. He was an old dude. He would talk shit. He knew everything. He'd be like, "What's up, Gallagher?" Oh, that motherfucker's wife's cheating on him. They're getting a divorce in a month. You watch. What's up, Larry? Yeah. Do that. Everybody. He had fake teeth. He'd take his tongue and stick them out at you. You're like, do that. He was a wild old dude.
Wow.
Wild old dude.
A real character.
God.
Yeah. Wow.
We used to go to a Memorial Stadium. This is one of my faves, too. This is just so funny. This is how we used to go to Memorial Stadium. This was back when the Royals had Bo Jackson, and we go see the game that night.
Yeah.
And the Royals beat us to just edge to first place. And we see the bus outside of the stadium. So everybody walks up and everybody's around the bus. And there's this one black dude that's just screaming in the bus, "Fuck that, we still number one. Fuck that, we still number one." And I don't remember who it was on the Royals, but he stood on the stairs and goes, "Why don't you get on this bus and say that shit?" And the dude walked right up on the bus. And he's like,
he
goes, "Fuck y'all, we still number one." And then they said, "Why don't you say that to Bo?" And Bo Jackson stood up in the back and he goes, "Fuck that, we number 2." And he got right off the bus. I will never forget the way he said that. It sticks in my memory forever. Fuck that, we number 2.
Yeah.
Why did you say that to Bo?
All tough until Bo Jackson stands up and you're like, you might be.
And like, correct me if I'm wrong here too. You guys are older. I see this. I see the grays. Harvey Keene. Do you remember the manager, Harvey Keene? Milwaukee, I believe.
Do you remember that?
Right. He played as a shortstop.
Didn't he have he had some kind of fucked up leg?
Did he? I don't
remember.
In
my mind, when I'm a kid, he comes over to the sidelines. This drunk is screaming, "Harvey, give these kids a ball," pointing to us. And we're like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. You're not helping us." Like, he is not. Right, and he comes over and gives my little brother a ball, and I swear to God, I looked at his leg, and I swear he might have had a real wood leg, like a peg leg. I want to look it up, but in my mind, I'm also like
But
10,
in your mind,
11, but it was a wood leg, like a pirate leg.
Right. Memories are a little different back then, but
But
yeah,
also,
yeah.
he was old as shit
Oh.
then, so it really could have been an
Oh,
artificial,
man.
just wood.
He
thing
could have
on
lost
it.
it later.
I don't.
Yeah, diabetes
That's what
kicks
I'm saying. Who
in.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the Orioles,
Yeah,
right?
Orioles.
Right? You go to Orioles games at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
You go to
Yeah,
Camden? You've gone to
tons.
Camden since that's been there?
Yeah.
How about them Orioles?
I'm excited and nervous. The last time we were this
I
good
mean-
was 2014, and I literally watched us lose while my daughter was being born in the hospital, so it took the edge off. But this time,
Okay.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
wild. You know, 96, 97 was the Alomar and Ripken years. We were good, couldn't finish it. 2014, couldn't get it done. Just 2014 was the Royals, and I swear it was like brothers. We were so evenly matched, and it was just 2 plays a game that they made that we didn't, that made the difference. And I'm glad they ended up winning it. But yeah, the Orioles, this year,
they're the division champs,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, won the AL East
Right, past
and
the Rays.
the whole American League.
Yeah. I mean, who do they have their first playoff series
It depends. I think it's Texas,
know yet.
Texas
The winner-
and the Rays. I think the winner of that series.
against? Okay.
There's 3 AL East
Got it,
teams
got
in the
it.
playoffs. You've got Toronto, you got the Rays, and you got the Orioles. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Red Sox fan, Yankees fans.
Yankees and Red Sox here, so there's just we're deep into football now. So
Yeah, we apologize to our one listener. We're going to talk a little baseball and football, I guess.
Yeah, that's all right. It's weekends with Bernie. It doesn't mean it's football.
This weekend, I'm stoked for this weekend. This weekend we have, I keep telling my daughter, I'm like, I keep saying, she's like, Dad, you keep saying it's meaningful baseball. I go, we're playing meaningful baseball in October, okay? It's meaningful. So this
that's
weekend we've got Ravens Steelers on Sunday. We've got Orioles
Classic.
and
No problem.
TBD in the playoffs. And Maryland
Right.
football is doing all right this year, and I think they play.
Terrapins.
Is it Ohio? They play a big team on Saturday, so it's a lot of Maryland
That'll be cool.
sports going on. And the Ravens,
That'll
I started
be
working with them.
fun.
They reached out and asked me if I'd be interested in like repping the team, and I was like, I do it anyway. I wear my.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I saw you
Yeah,
open that
yeah.
box of goodies. You got a whole new set of gear and everything. That's great.
That's
Yeah,
very
that's fun.
cool.
So
Oh,
I'm going to
man.
go.
Do they let you go down and hang out on
She
the
said if I
sidelines?
wanted to go, they'd give me sidelines and all that stuff. But I don't know if that's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't know if my tour schedule lines up with me making it to Baltimore, but they do come here to LA, and they said they would give me LA tickets. So we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you got to get this on. When you're down there, tell Lamar, tell him to get the 2 hands, and then
Yeah.
the tuck. Show him the tuck.
You want to know something funny, man? I'll definitely say it. But one of my good friends, Chris Lamb, okay, this kid was an equipment guy. He ended up working for the Ravens as an equipment dude. And they were like, why don't you come out and just, work the sidelines for the balls? So on I believe it was the first half, he'd work the Ravens sideline. The second half, he'd work the visitor sideline. So he would tell me all kinds of shit they would say and stuff. But this kid, I mean, we've known each other since 6th grade. I would be watching all day long. I'd be like, there's Lamb. There's Lamb. There. Of all the people in my life that have been in entertainment and everything, that fucking guy was on TV more than anybody I know. Every Sunday, like big shot with screen grab, like look at you in 4K, dude. Look at you. You look good.
Man,
More than
That's
anybody.
hilarious.
what? I'd be so jealous.
What a
It
fun
was a fun job.
You know?
Right?
And then he gave me
That's just so
Torrey
lucky.
Smith caught a touchdown against the Falcons when in Atlanta with these pink gloves during October, breast cancer awareness, and my daughter was born, so he sent me those gloves. He got me some gloves. He would send me stuff all the
Nice.
time. I get like
Oh, man.
exclusive like sideline gear and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Very cool.
We were down on the field with a Giant Stadium one time with Mike Kelly. He's a big Atlanta Falcons fan. Got us on the field, and you go down there, it's great. The field, the turf feels great, but those guys in their uniforms, they look like they're the size of buildings. Like it is so like scary just to be near them.
They're massive.
It was massive, like just to be hit, run full steam and try to.
Yeah, that's one part of the game I just always think, they're never going to get up because it's just the way they hit each other.
Isn't it?
I know that I would never get up.
Look, I can't believe that at least one finger a week isn't getting caught in someone's face mask and getting ripped off. Like, there's so many games, and so many plays that it is amazing to me that doesn't happen. Like, oh, that guy's finger got ripped off again.
Yeah. I know. I'll walk by my screen door and catch it sometimes. And I can't imagine
having 400 pounds roll up on your ankle and shit. It's a lot.
Oh yeah, like 20 miles an hour running by. Jesus.
The older I get,
I'd be dead.
The more I'm like, you did it right, Barry Sanders. You did the right thing. Yeah.
Right? He got out and he's a hero.
He's not going to be some invalid that can't even move or anything. He did it right. He did it right.
No.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Andrew Luck.
I agree.
Was like,
get me fuck this. I'm getting banged up.
I've had it.
Smart.
He's out there doing comedy bits now.
Smart. Is he?
Yeah, he's dressed up as the colonel or whatever.
Does he play into that war hero thing that people? Oh my gosh, yeah,
that's great. He did it right.
He did, yeah, man.
And we did it right too. We are not injured from professional sports.
We did it right by getting Ryan Sickler.
Hey man, that's right.
Thanks,
we did.
Yeah, man.
And we'll, good luck with your team full of strangers. I hope you beat all those
Me
weird
too,
strangers.
dude. Me too. My team name. What are your team names? Let's hear some team names before I go.
These guys are the same name as the podcast.
Yeah, Weekends with Bernie this year. Usually I'm Uncle Jason. I go by Uncle Jason.
Right.
And then
I change my team name every year, but this year I kind of did a little spin on the podcast thing, and instead of Smartless, I'm Sharpless.
Oh no! Well, I hope that happens for you this year too.
Right. Hope
I
don't
hope you go
myself.
Sharpless the whole year.
Thank you.
What do you got over there? What's your
this one time I was in Caroline's in Manhattan. I was doing my show there, and when I stepped outside, there was this drunk guy who started talking to me, and he was asking me if I was a Mike Tyson fan. I said, yeah, and he goes, do you remember that fight where he fought Duster Douglas? And I started laughing so fucking hard. I was like, you mean Buster Douglas? And he's like, yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, and he continued to call him Duster Douglas. And it's so fucking funny to me that that's my team name, Duster Douglas.
I like it. Duster Douglas.
That's a good one. That's a good
perfect.
one.
Perfect. Everybody knows. Yeah. That's amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Sometimes the universe
just gave me my fantasy name.
That's my team name.
It's stuck for that long.
Name,
you're like, one day I'm going to use that. Thank you.
Yeah, because people they try to do the clever thing when they incorporate the player's name and they do a little spin and think they're so funny, but there's nothing funnier than Duster Douglas.
Yeah, it's pure.
It's just
so pure.
Nobody has that name in fantasy football. I don't care how many leagues are out there. Nobody's got a Duster Douglas. Nobody.
I like it, and you could use it every year. You don't have to not rely.
I do
on your
every
player.
year. I'm Duster Douglas out there.
We have it now. We have a trophy that we inscribe our winners on, and people change their team name all the time. I don't understand that.
You never know who it was.
Yeah, I want the same team name, so it's you see it multiple times. You're like, oh, this guy is.
That's over.
Yeah. Well, it is. We changed
your team name.
We're here now.
With the team we have, it won't happen.
It doesn't matter. We're not going to win this year anyway. So.
No way.
Man, we need to check in on Duster Douglas later on in the season and see how you're doing.
1 and 3 through 4 weeks, guys. 1 and 3 through 4 weeks.
We'll
all right.
We might coerce you into updating us at some point.
All right. Well, you can turn it around now. 1 and 3. No problem. It's all right. All right.
All right, guys.
Ryan.
Thank you very much,
Take
man.
care, brother.
Too.
RyanSickler.com. Check it out. Check out his comedy album and the special.
He's got a tiny little podcast called The Honeydew. It's probably like one of the top podcasts on
The Honeydew podcast.
Out there.
Check it out. Ryan,
You
take
too,
care,
guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Be good.